The National Golf Foundation found that only 5% of amateur golfers can break 80 consistently. Today, I'm going to share 7 reasons why you're probably not breaking 80 yet, and also quick fixes so you can shoot in the 70s more often based on my extensive playing career and also being a mental golf coach. Stick around to the end too, because the final reason is probably the most common one I see with everyday golfers and killing your chances of shooting in the 70s. The first reason you're not breaking 80 enough is you're letting bad tee shots ruin the round. Here's the thing, you don't need to hit it 300 yards or never miss a fairway to shoot in the 70s. In fact, Golf Monthly found that scratch golfers only hit about 51% of fairways, and even the pros average about 58%. So you don't need to hit every single fairway to actually break 80. Trust me, I get it. I've definitely been mad with a bad tee shot. It feels like you're, ruining the hole and you're never gonna recover, but a lot of times you still can salvage bogey or better. And don't forget, to break 80, you can still have 7 bogeys on the card, even if you don't make any birdies, and shoot that elusive 79. Plus, if you make a few birdies, you're gonna be in the mid-70s. So when you do get out of position with this club, make sure and ask yourself this one question: how can I make bogey or better? The problem is most golfers play way too aggressively when they miss the fairway, which is known as hero golf, and it leads to a lot of doubles and triples. The easiest way to stop getting so mad and letting a bad tee shot ruin the hole is a post-shot routine. Now you might wonder, what is a post-shot routine? You might have heard of a pre-shot routine, so what is a post-shot routine? A post-shot routine is something you do immediately after the swing, so that way you don't let one bad swing impact the next one. So a few examples of a good post-shot routine might be giving yourself 10 steps to be as mad as you want, but on that 11th step, it's time to focus on the next one. Another trick is putting the club back in the bag, and that signals to your mind, hey, that shot is over, we're on to the next one. There's a ton of different post-shot routines that are mentioned in the book Zen Golf by Dr. Joseph Parent. I highly recommend you check out our interview together and develop a post-shot routine so that way you can stop letting one bad shot ruin the round. The second reason you're probably not breaking 80 enough is you're playing golf swing versus actually going out and just playing golf. To play your best golf, you cannot worry about mechanics during the round. Save that for the driving range. As Dr. Bob Rotella said, a golfer must learn how to train his swing on the practice tee so he can trust it on the course. When you're on the golf course, focus on your pre-shot routine, committing to the club, committing to a good target, and trusting the swing that you developed in practice. You can't go out there and try and make a bunch of swing changes and expect to play good. Trust the swing you have, work on your weaknesses in practice so that way you don't play golf swing, and go out there and have a lot more fun and probably play a lot better. Speaking of routines, the third reason why so many golfers are not breaking 80 is because they don't have a pre-shot routine. But if you notice, the best players in the world all have a set of rituals before every shot to get their mind and body ready for the upcoming swing. So please, I'm begging you.
Please, I'm begging you.
Develop a pre-shot routine. It will absolutely change your game and help take your range game to the golf course. When you have a good routine, you're gonna be mentally prepared, you're gonna be really focused on your target, you're gonna be a lot more committed, and hopefully have a lot less doubt over every single shot. If you're ready to develop your pre-shot routine, make sure to click the link down in the description or go to this URL now so you can start developing your routine and playing like the pros. The fourth reason you're probably not breaking 80 enough yet is you're firing at the flag too often. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to take an iron or wedge out and try and attack the flag, but a lot of times it's not the wicked smart play. The reason it's so ineffective is because not enough golfers think about shot dispersion. Shot dispersion refers to our shot pattern over every single shot. The problem is that most of us forget, as amateur golfers, we have a pretty wide shot dispersion. The higher your handicap, typically the wider the shot dispersion. So if you're trying to aim at flags with a mid iron, you gotta remember that you're gonna miss this thing 10, 15 yards in either direction depending on your handicap. And if you're aiming at the flag and it's tucked in the back right of a green, and then all of a sudden you hit a big push, now you're gonna be short-sighted. And when you're short-sighted, which happens way too often when you're firing at the flag, it's gonna be really tough to get those up and down and can lead to a lot of bogeys and a lot of times worse. So you wanna make sure to favor the middle of the green more often. I think it was Boo Weekly who said the middle of the green doesn't move. So please stop firing at the flag so often so you can give yourself more birdie putts and avoid those costly blow up holes. If you want to learn the exact formula of when to fire at the flag and when not, make sure to check out Decade Golf. This course management system is used by tons of professionals and amateurs like myself, and it has changed the way I look at target selection. So if you do want to learn more, click the link down below and make sure to use Wicked Smart at checkout to save 20% off your subscription. The fifth reason you aren't breaking 80 enough is you're not putting from the fringe. Kind of like firing at the flag, it is cool to hit a nice nippy chip from the fringe and maybe it goes in or it goes really close to the hole. But the problem is that you're gonna miss a lot more of those than you're gonna hit good ones, which are gonna lead to wasted strokes. So please putt from the fringe more often. I'm a +2 handicap and I almost always take the putter from the fringe. So please stop making golf so hard and start using your flat stick on the greens. Like they always say, a bad putt is always gonna be a lot better than a bad chip. Higher handicappers especially are gonna skull some over the green, they're gonna chunk some, and it's gonna make it really hard to get up and down a lot. The good news is you don't have to do much different when you putt from the fringe either. You just have to hit it a little bit harder to account for the thicker grass, and then just start reading it like a putt. You're gonna hit a lot more of these closer, you're gonna get more up and down, and I bet you're gonna make some of those too. Stop chipping when you're on the fringe, it's killing your chances of breaking 80. The sixth reason you're probably not shooting in the 70s enough is because you don't practice your short game nearly enough. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to bond drivers and work on your full swing, and as this video shows, most of the time the range is full and the chipping and putting green is empty. But if you want to become a wicked smart golfer and you want to break 80 consistently, we got to spend more time inside 100 yards working on the shots that matter most. Even our putting, don't forget, accounts for about 35% or more of all strokes during the round. So you want to make sure to dial in your short game. The simple shots too, bunker shots, pitch shots, chip shots, bump and runs, and of course, putting. And then when you do go to the range, spend a little bit more time with your lob and sand wedge, so that way inside 100 yards, you're gonna become dangerous, you're gonna get a lot more up and down, and you're not gonna waste shots inside 100. For context, even scratch golfers only hit about 56% of greens in regulation, according to Arcos Golf and Golf Monthly. So even if you are a scratch golfer, you're gonna miss about half the greens in reg, which means you need to learn how to get it up and down. Plus, a good short game is gonna be there on your bad days, and if you're playing really well, it can turn a good round into a great one. Work on your short game more often, find different ways to make it fun and exciting, and I guarantee you're gonna shoot a lot lower scores. The final reason that you're probably not breaking 80 enough is because you're thinking too much about your score. If you're worrying about your score after every hole, then adding it up after 9, then adding it up after 17 holes, you are making golf so much more difficult. The best rounds you're gonna play are the ones where you don't even know where you're at. In fact, when I was playing in a tournament in 2023, I knew I was playing good, but I didn't even know exactly where I was. When I added it up at the end, I shot my tournament low for that year in a 66. But I was so in the zone, I was so immersed in my shot process, I was so immersed in my targets, I was playing golf like my personality type, and I was just taking it one shot at a time. And all of a sudden I added it up and had one of the best rounds ever. So stop thinking about your score so often and start thinking about your process. Your pre-shot routine is all you want to be worrying about during the round, so that way you can stay present, you're not worrying about the past, you're not thinking too far ahead in the future, and you're focused on that one shot. Now, this is easier said than done, but man, when you start doing it, it makes a huge difference in your game. If you want to learn more about breaking 80, make sure to watch these two videos next.